Hello, hello, hello. This is Sir David the Bard. In my easy chair, not my hard chair. I have my little technician behind the camera there. That is my little Allison. She's waving, but no one can see her. Lady Allison, sorry. Coming to you out of Australia, Kangaroo City, Australia. We've had a couple tragic accidents down here. We had 2 kangaroos hit by Mormon missionaries on bicycles, and they're still trying to determine who got hurt the most. But anyway, one of the missionaries survived and started giving the Book of Mormon and preaching to one of the kangaroos, and he died too. So there's 3 kangaroos dead, and a Mormon missionary wrote down that he converted one. Anyway, here's where I am today. I'm on a new camera. Well, yeah, I am. It's a new camera. It's not my video cam because my computers are all down and my line is all down. We are into a technical update. We're going to high-speed internet because we're making so much money off of this show. And I moved from 7, I think, megabytes a second to 12. And the technician is not quite here yet to set up the new router. But anyway, that's all bullshit, and I don't understand it, but I understand the bill when it comes in. So anyway, I wanted to do a video today on something that's come up that I think is important, and so it takes 2 or 3 hours for me to download this on the computer. It downloads in 20 seconds on YouTube. Anyway, here's where I'm at today. I am so sick and tired of this technological society putting ordinary bums and ordinary Joes that have no education, they have no common sense, no one would hire them to drive a truck or even lay bricks or to do groundskeeping. This society has moved to technology that the most common of common persons believes that they're part of the National Security Council, Homeland Security, or the cabinet of the President of the United States. I have never seen, now let me tell you, I understand some of this. When I was an insurance agent in Massachusetts, Springfield, Massachusetts, for New England Life, we wore 3-piece suits. That said something to the world. And the wingtip shoes, whoa, now he's a businessman. He knows what he's doing. Then we would also buy, at our own expense, cross pens. Not 16 karat gold. 24 karat gold. We put those in our breast pocket. Any agent or any businessman in the world can tell 16 proof gold compared to 24. So if I had, and I did, I had 3 24s. I had the marker pen. I had the pen, and the ink pen, the marker pen, and the pen. And so when I put those in my pocket, man, I raised my shoulders up and said, this is one of your top agents right here. Mm-hmm. And you put the short haircut on them, and you put the little tie on them, and you think the agent is God. It worked. It worked. When I walked in, people bowed down and yelled, the Bard, the Bard, the Bard. Now, that's gone a little too far, folks. That's gone a little too far. Now you have immigrants that can't even speak damn English. They've got an iPhone, an iPad, an and boo-boo, and a ha-ha camera that has 10,000 functions on it and costs $400. Now, I'm going to give you an example. The phone rings. I go over to pick up the cell phone, and the screen is black. I go, holy shit, who's calling? I go, who's calling? Who's calling? Who's calling? I know you're going to hang up. And they do. They do. I missed the call. I missed the call. So to call on, to answer the phone, you have to push this button, and then this, and then slide the screen 900 times, and then you may be able to answer the damn phone before The person says, screw it, and hangs up. What the hell are immigrants and people that don't speak damn English doing with a 10,000 function? I think they call it 4G, and I don't know what the G stands for, but 4 evidently is fast, I've never seen anything like it. I was in my, you're gonna die on this one. I was in my gastric bypass surgery class last night, and a renowned surgeon, I mean, he's renowned, he's the best of the best, and he publishes, and does research, and the operations, does it for 30 years. So there's 35 people in there. It's a nice place to go when you're the skinniest person in the room. I felt like maybe being 110 pounds overweight, I wasn't qualified, but I was. So all of the fat people were sitting there trying to look skinny, trying not to ask stupid questions. And there's this fat, and I have to tell you, Hispanic, Mexican girl, probably 24 years old, sitting in the back row, in the middle of the back row, and we're listening, and we've got a slideshow, and this renowned doctor is talking to us and showing us and doing pictures and telling about the prices and going through the insurance companies, the whole thing. Well, her phone rings. I go, well, shit. I thought, well, you know, she'll have some courteous and some common sense. Obviously no education, but a phone that rings in the middle of a damn seminar conference that has like 35, 40 people in it. Goodbye. My technician is leaving the room. I'm sure she'll trip on the cord, break the damn camera. I'll call you on the intercom when I'm done, and I'll get you $1 for this, that's all. Not $5, no, $1, Allison. Get out of here.
No, $1.50.
Anyway, not $1.50. Boy, she knows how to bargain, damn Philippine girls. Anyway, we're sitting there another 10 minutes. The phone rings again. It rings again. And now, the bard is saying, 1 time is stupid, 2 times is no brain. It's no brain. I go, oh, shit. She's young, she's from another country, maybe she doesn't understand. So I'm sitting in another 20 minutes, it's a 2-hour meeting. It rings again. Now the bard's done. The bard is done. I was in a room with a lot of educated, I don't know how sophisticated, because we're all blimps. I turned around in the middle of the meeting, and here's what the bard said. Are you that stupid that I have to tell you to turn the damn phone off? This is a renowned surgeon up here speaking to us. Give him a little bit of respect, a little bit of understanding. Is President Obama calling you? She says, well, I turned it off, but it came back on. I said, you know what I'd do? Throw it away, idiot. Well, of course, everybody's looking at the bard. I was saying what everybody wanted to say, but they didn't say it. The bard did. So here's my point. Why do you need a $400 phone? Okay, now, if you use most of those functions, that makes sense. I've got this video camera system that's operating. I can see the monitors right behind the camera. Yeah, it's expensive. It's a toy. Not really. Not really. I can speak to any camera. Any camera can speak back to me. It turns itself on at night. Has infrared photography. Can photograph in the dark. It can back up on a memory 90 days. 5 cameras moving 24/7. I can look back. I use it all the time. I use the sound. I use the lights. I'm old, and when I go to the bathroom, the light turns on automatically. When I stand up, I pee in the glass, get back in bed. Anyway, you people don't need the shit you're buying. You don't need it. Now, here's why people buy it. And I've been through this evolution, so I do know what I'm talking about. Back in the old days, very few people had portable phones. Very few people. Motorola had some walkie-talkies, and they were pretty advanced. They'd go several miles out from a center. Well, then came along the car phones. I had a car phone, probably 69, somewhere in there. The whole phone took up the trunk of the car, and it was mounted to the transmission, and it was a party line. There were like 19 of us on there, and it had a red button, and when the red button turned green, you could pick it up and get the dial tone. Now it was your turn. Very expensive. I used it for insurance. That made me a lot of money. I needed that phone. Well, it was important for me to call my clients because most of them were in the Massachusetts jungle on dirt roads that had no names, and they would have to guide me in and see my car lights at night coming in, and turn left, go around that tree, don't hit that bear, So I used the damn thing. Well, here's the evolution of the modern American society. Ordinary people didn't have mobile phones because no one would call them except their mother, their father, and their girlfriends. No one calls most people. How many of you have had a call on a mobile phone that saved somebody's life? I haven't found a person yet. I keep asking that question. Have you? No. And I see people walking around everywhere like this, tripping, falling, and excuse me, get that out of your face. Excuse me. A little human-to-human contact. Get your boyfriend's face off that phone while you're at work. People lie, they cheat, they steal the boss's time. Their phones ring in their ass, they've got butt calls everywhere, and they're not important. But you know what? If they're carrying that damn phone, my daughter, she can look a half a mile away and see, is that the most sophisticated, most expensive phone? Oh, I don't want that one. I want a better one than that one. Now, we have a little technology. I can sit in this chair, and that camera right there looks at me, and it goes on to the internet, and my wife at work can look at me and see if I've run away from home, caught the house on fire, if I got dressed for the day. Maybe I'm here naked, and she'll call and she'll say, he's naked, get dressed. I am telling you, these gold-looking and maybe chains, which are bought mostly with drug money, gold rings. I got a little wedding band here. I don't think it was $25. Now I think about it, that was a $25 wife. Get that sucker off of there. And this was a $15 wife. You get what you pay for. Anyway, this technology makes ordinary, plain, boring people think they're important. Nobody else thinks they're important because everybody's walking around like this. You know what? I don't even have a damn cell phone. I'm not important. If Obama wants me, he's going to have to send me a telegraph. Maybe a Pony Express. What is it? Honey, we've got to get a dozen eggs tonight and 3 tomatoes. And by the way, I have a headache and we're not screwing tonight. I don't want a cell phone to hear that. I don't want people calling me when I'm in a restaurant. I don't want people calling me when I'm driving. I don't want anyone to call me to tell you the God's truth, because you know what? They don't have anything important to say. Now, there's some exceptions. I get calls from medical people, from doctors, from hospitals, from programs, colostomy and gastric bypass and cardiac and diabetes. There's some legitimate calls. I don't want them in the restroom while I'm at McDonald's. Pee all over the floor. This damn technology is causing ordinary people to think they're important. They're no more important than they were 50 years ago. They're bozos. They're losers. And you know what? I've seen more poor people that have a damn phone in their face than food or clothing. I guess if you're a drug addict or you're pushing drugs, I guess the cameras and the phones help you get away from the police. I don't understand it. I'm old, and I know it, and I'm starting to show it. I went into the gastric bypass surgeon. He says, I'll handle any questions after class. And I went up to him and I said, I'm sorry the girl was so stupid on the phone. And he just looked at me. He didn't condone it or approve it. And I told him, he says, well, why do you want gastric bypass surgery? I said, hell, I'm 66 years old. I'd like to become a male model. He just looked at the ground. He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid. Jesus. So anyway, these devices are like back in the old days, when some of you are old enough, most of you aren't, when they had slideshows, they had a big screen. In fact, all the LDS chapels had a screen that came down with electricity. And then they had a slideshow, and you put the slides in the top of the carousel, and then you push the button. Man, that was modern. And the picture would come up sideways or upside down. But anyway, and people go, hell, look at that. God, it's like being at the movies. Jeez. I remember when Dolby Sound came out. Back until then, a guy stood on the stage with a megaphone and yelled the program. I remember we got our first TV. And 2 or 3 of our neighbors had they had color TVs. Now, I don't mean black. Not colored TVs. Color TVs. I'm sorry. I have many, many black people that watch me, and they laugh their ass off. Or turn me off. I'm not sure which they do. But anyway, we would all go down to the neighbor that had color TV. And they had the upper hand. They were the rich. They were the powerful. They were the leaders of the community. I've watched this technology, folks. I've watched it. I remember cars. I had a Federal truck that was made out of wood. It had a wood frame. My first vehicle. Anyway, here's what makes us important. Here's what makes self-esteem. Now, I'm not so stupid and I'm not so uneducated. If you have a nice suit and you have a nice briefcase and glasses and you look like a businessman and you drive up in a brand new Cadillac, that's going to impress most people. But when you get out and they say, how do you do? And you say, I don't know I don't know what I do. They know you're an idiot. I meet them all day long. I meet them all day long. Here's where you're important. Your knowledge, your experience, your education, your common sense, and your age-appropriate life experience. That makes you important. I was just in Lowe's a couple of minutes ago, and I've never seen a store that has more employees standing around bullshitting than they do customers. So there's these 3 people bullshitting, and I wanted to buy this phone because I can't hear on a regular phone anymore. And I see 2 or 3 of them talking, and I walk up and I say, excuse me, does anyone know where the phones are? They kept talking. They kept talking. I'm a customer. And these 3 bozos, and one of them was my age, 65, and 2 or 3 were younger, in their 20s, 30s. And they kept talking like I wasn't there. Now, the Bard, I say things and do things you want to do, but you can't. The world and the day and ice will get you. So I yelled. I said, for God's sakes, is what you're talking about more important than a customer that pays your salary? I'm a customer here. Bullshit some other time. Whoa, whoa. So the old boy, he took off. And the young guy stood there. And I said, do you have any telephones I could buy? He says, no, we don't sell phones. I said, okay, thanks. Walked off. There are more people out there. I tell you, there's some real assholes and some real stupid people. When you are in a retail position and a customer comes in, they're God. They're damn God. They're Elohim's son. There's Jesus and retail. Sometimes they call him Walmart or Home Depot. I don't know what his real name is. I'm telling you, folks, these people, you go into a huge store like Home Depot or Walmart, you'll see employees on their cameras. Now let me tell you, you think I'm exaggerating. I've had, I don't know, 17 contractors in here in the last 12 months doing everything. I had an electrician come in to fix some lights that they had put in before that were wrong and needed to be fixed. And he's up in the kitchen ceiling with wires and, lights hanging down. It looked like maybe he'd been in the electric chair at Folsom Prison, and he's standing on a chair. Well, he brings with him Mr. Homie Idiot, 24-year-old kid who I guess is an apprentice trying to learn the electrical business. That kid never looked up at the journeyman. He had a damn cell phone. He's pushing buttons. He's doing... What is he communicating with the Electrical Union of the United States? Nah, he's looking at games. He's looking at his girlfriend's picture with no bra on. He's looking at this and he don't give a shit. They never got it fixed. Well, when that company called me, they asked me what happened. And I told them, I said, you had one guy on his cell phone 100% of the time, and the electrician that would come off of the ladder or the chair now and then, he'd be on his cell phone. So nothing got done. The light's still broken, and it doesn't work. Well, they said, here's the Mormons. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, we're going to fix that. And they do this and go out the other door. Anyway, technology doesn't make us important. 14 karat gold or 24 karat gold pens, they don't make us important. A hat that says Beverly Hills don't mean you live in Beverly Hills. A hat that says Giants, you aren't a giant, you're a midget wearing a stupid hat. I had a hat at DI I bought one day, and it said United States Air Force. I just wear a hat sometimes. And I was talking to somebody, what branch of the Air Force were you in? I said the home branch. I stayed at home. So, clothing doesn't make us. Garments don't make us. That's as silly as a Rolex watch. Yeah, they're $6,000, but how do people know if you didn't just mug a homeless person or you went to Walmart and you bought gold paint? That doesn't make us important, folks. What makes us important is how we treat each other. When I walk into a Lowe's market, a home market, if the employees look up and see me and say, "Oh, sir, may I help you? May I help you?" That's an important person. They have experience, they have knowledge, they have training. But when they're looking at a cell phone and I gotta slap their damn hand and pull on their balls and go, hey, can I get some attention here? What kind of a society are we going to? Everybody's sitting at home hacking each other, stealing each other's credit cards. I'm not impressed. I'm sorry, I'm old, but I'm not impressed. How we treat each other, what we think, what we know, how accepting we are of other cultures. I had a black lady, not colored. I'm sorry. I love my... I was one of the first people that hired black people back in 1969, 70, right out of college. So anyway, black people, just take my humor and stuff it. No. Anyway, I called today to the phone company. Well, they put me on with a technician. At least she wasn't from India. She spoke broken English, but she was black. I could look through the wire and hear her voice, and she was black, and she talked black. Uneducated black. And finally, halfway through the conversation, I said to her, I can't understand you. I don't have any idea what you're saying. So they transferred me to a person that speaks proper English. It's technical stuff. I had to understand it. So I get tired of talking to machines. I've never seen it. I've never seen it 20 years ago. When you called the company, you had a cute little BYU girl that said, "Hi, this is Sandy, and I'm handy. Would you like me to handle you?" Well, yeah, I would. I got to complain. And there was a grievance system. Good Lord, I've just called the phone company 3 times today. All the lines are down. That's why I'm using this camera system here. They're all down. They didn't tell me if there was a technician coming or not. I had to call 3 times, and then they finally said, "Oh yes, he'll be there at 4. Now let me tell you something about human beings. No human being works at 4 o'clock. Their ass has been gone from the office. They got their lunch bucket or their sandwich in their coat pocket. They're invisible. If they're still 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you might get a technician. 4 o'clock, bend over, kiss your ass goodbye. You're not going to have internet. Your cameras aren't going to work. You've paid thousands of dollars to have all this stuff, and they call it an upgrade. Jeez. I've gone from 3 or 4 computers and a whole bunch of printers and other things that are all Wi-Fi, and a phone. It doesn't work now either. So anyway, this is an upgrade. Oh my gosh. And then they go, speed. Now, my computer, I only have 7 millibytes a second. Well, the BART don't need much more than that. The cameras do, but I don't. And so when I click on the internet or I click, it comes up right there. It comes up, it's like the next page. Click, bam, it comes up. They say, "Oh, this is so much faster." I go, Jesus, does it read my mind? How can something be faster than instant? Now, I'm speaking ignorantly because some of them said the downloads are faster. Now, that's convenient. You know, when I spend 15 minutes to download a Disney game for my daughter, I guess it downloads instantly with this new 12 microbytes a second. And so, and I've got a 2 trillion byte, what is 6 TW or something, memory system. But it's not working because the technician doesn't know how to fix it. It's his job. I've had one man out here 3 times, and he's been here for 8 hours each time. Then I had 3 men out here for 4 hours. They couldn't do anything. They went home. This is the head of the company. This is the head of the company and one of the software creators of this system. Then I had me on the computer with the home office 12 hours. That didn't do shit. Made them wish they never sold it to the BART. And then I had the salesman, Dennis. I won't give you his last name because I don't know it. He's been in 3 times until midnight. Until midnight. Now I've got picture and I've got sound, but no recording. No recording, folks. So I've ordered a new router and new speed because everyone says, well, your router is antiquated. It's 4 years old. Let me tell you something. To find somebody in this world that knows what the hell they're doing and does it in an honest and a charitable and a kind, fair way. Doesn't gouge you. Doesn't gouge you. You know, being old like this, every time I call the plumbing company, it's never under $1,300. Never under $1,300. But I'm too fat, I'm too old, I can't see shit, and I can't climb under a sink anymore. Find me somebody. Find me one man or woman. When you go to a McDonald's, you'll say, "Could I get a Big Mac?" And they go, we're not making Big Macs. I said, "Well, you're McDonald's, don't you make Big Macs?" Well, we used to, and sometimes we do, but right now the manager, he'll be back in 2 hours. I think we'll be making them then. I say to myself, holy shit, you can't get fast food. You can get buffet. I don't have too many complaints about buffet. But the same way with a car dealership. I had a guy call me. He says, "We want your car." And I said, "Worse than I do?" "Yes, we'll pay cash for it." Hey, I'm coming in. Well, I go in, and they offered me the same amount of money that I paid for the car, but not all of the down payment and the interest that I paid. What kind of a deal is that? It's a trick. It's a trick. So anyway, I'm getting too long on this video. But technology, clothing, those things don't make us important. Our vocabulary, our educated wisdom, our experience with life and wives and husbands and children and driving. If you've never driven in the Philippines, you don't know how to drive. A stop sign, a stop light, they mean nothing. Lanes on a highway, they mean nothing. It's the right shoulder, the left shoulder. And how many people can you get on a motorcycle in the Philippines? One more. No seat belts, no helmets. They get the job done. Anyway, find me a person that doesn't have their face in a damn camera. Find me a person that knows their job. Find me a person that thinks out of the box. I went into a big box store a day or two ago, and I said to the lady, I need a piece of cloth that kind of looks like bamboo. She said, we don't have any bamboo cloth. I said, I said, it doesn't have to be bamboo cloth, just something that's the color, or maybe it has, scraggly things on. We don't have any of that. I said, but you haven't even looked. You've got 200, what do you call it? Not yards, 200, lost my vocabulary, rolls. You haven't even looked. She says, well, I've never seen one. So now I turned to my sweet wife and I said, I've been kind as long as I can be kind. I'm going to go out and sit in the car. Could you buy a bamboo cover for my little table so you can't quite see me? I'm in Margaritaville here. I bought a... You're going to die. Allison, come here and show my audience how I live. I've got a huge umbrella over a queen bed and a 15-foot ceiling. And I've got a waterfall here, a jacuzzi with a waterfall, and I can get the job done. When I ask people to think outside the box, Allison, Lady Allison, come. Get ready to take the camera. Wait a minute. Honey, don't do that crap. Don't do that crap. Just...
What?
I'm going to have Allison show you the Bard's room. This is where I sit and think. Okay, take the camera off of the stand. Okay? And...
I can't.
Yes, you can. Is it on there forever?
Because of you.
Oh, that's right. I glued it on.
No,
All right.
wait.
Honey, don't go crazy. People don't want to see that.
No, I can.
Okay, take it off then.
But I have to twist it.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. No. Let me just close. People don't want to see this crap. Am I on?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, props, we used to call them in residential care when I took care of children who were worthless people according to society. Sunglasses, hats, cell phones, what's the tennis shoes? Converse?
Yeah.
Converse tennis shoes. That's as old as I am, young people. I wore Converse. Bell-bottom pants. Mohawk haircuts. That doesn't get you attention or brilliance from me. We wore those in the 60s, you fools.
No.
Anyway, thank you. The Bard is done. Turn it off.